Nice, nice, nice. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing my everyday makeup routine. I've been trying to find the best base routine and the best flawless face that I can do for any occasion within 30 minutes, and I think I found it. Elf has been stepping up their game. Elf has always been that girl for me. Lately, their products that they've come out with in the last 5 years have been so good, especially these primers. Y'all better get one of these. I've been really loving the Naicinamide one because it does give me like a little glow. I put a very generous amount, especially around my smile lines, because I've been struggling with smile lines lately. Is it because I'm getting old? Just kidding. Age is nothing but a number, girl. While this is drying down, I'll do my eyebrows. NYX, the brow glue. I absolutely love this product. My eyebrows are not done right now, as in I haven't plucked or shaped them in a while, and I've just kind of been rocking the natural bushy brow, which I really like, honestly. Really, this takes me about 30 to 45 minutes to do because of the steps, and I like to let my products sit, because that's how you get your makeup to really last. You gotta let your products sit and dry down and use your products, like use your makeup. And then I take some translucent powder. Just use whatever's in the lid from when it was moving around, and this keeps my brows in one spot. Before I do my eyebrows, this is where I check to see if my primer has dried. Yes, honey, it has dried down. Okay, I love this primer so much because it does what it says it does. Grip that makeup, okay? This is my shade right now, my summer shade, in a concealer, and I'm just putting some product over where I want to color correct. I've been breaking out a lot on my cheeks, so I let that dry while I do my eyebrows. I'm using the LA Colors. It's an eyeliner. I've started using black, and it's working for me. I have black hair, right? You can see. For the longest time, I couldn't find a dark enough brown that matched my eyebrows. So one day I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna use my black eyeliner, and since then I haven't put it down. Little tiny little strokes. These are the Maybelline Fit Me concealers. The first one that I used was in the shade 60. I'll have all the products down below if you guys want to know exactly what shade I used, in case we're shade sisters. While I do my eyebrows, I'm gonna do under eye concealer. Oh, y'all hotties out there that do concealers instead of foundation, like, you know what's up. And the reason why I do all of this where I leave my concealer to dry down is because A, it saves time, and B, you get the most coverage, and C, it looks a lot more flawless when you leave the product to dry down and work its magic. And I'm gonna use the first concealer that I used for above my eyebrows. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but I'm gonna do it because I did go a little overboard with that eyeliner on my eyebrows a little bit earlier. And I use a concealer that is the same shade as my skin. To blend out my concealer, I use a small little fluffy brush, big enough to blend it out where I'm not like spending hours blending out my concealer, but small enough to just stick in one spot. And I like to do right here underneath my lip, and I blend out the darker concealer first before I head to my under eye, because I don't want to mix too much. The best way to get a snatched look is to not spread out your product too much, because then now you have way more work to do in order of blending out the edges and like bringing back the color. I do a little bit of a light concealer on top, just in the inner corner. Actually, you know what? Forget what I said. I'm just gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna leave that like that for a second. And I'm sure y'all are tired of seeing these matchsticks every time that I use or do my makeup. Like, these have lasted me for such a long time, and they're almost out, which is crazy. Like, I never thought in a million years I'd ever finish these sticks, but these are the Fenty Beauty matte sticks. This one is in the color Espresso. This is my contour shade, and I used to do that, but it moves the concealer that I just put underneath. So I warm it up on the back of my hand. This is how much I have left. How long have I had this? I've had this for almost 3 years. Y'all throw your makeup out after a year? I didn't think so. This is the Maybelline Fit Me face setting powder, and I'm gonna use a little bit of this to set that concealer that I put on my cheeks earlier. Not too much. That was like a makeup rule, you don't put cream over powder, but honestly this is the best way that I've found this concealer. It stays down and it doesn't show the discoloration underneath. So I just kind of set it with my setting powder, not too much, and I don't swipe, I'm tapping, and I just go underneath the back of my hand. Actually, what time it is, because I don't know, gotta get ready for work. Tap, tap, tap. No swiping, okay? I'm watching you. No swiping. I'm not gonna blend all the way yet. And with the contour, I love to go a little heavy. Not as much on my cheeks, but I do go heavy on my forehead. Just because I don't put makeup on my forehead. Like, I didn't put anything on my forehead. I rarely ever put, even if I'm putting foundation on my face, I don't really put anything on my forehead. Under my chin, shaping my chin. Now, if you ever want to follow the steps that I'm doing or the makeup placements, I will say this chin thing is not for everybody. It depends heavily on your face shape and your jaw structure where you should be putting your contour. So I'd follow your natural bone structure, but emphasize it. Looks a lot more natural when you do with what you have. This is like turning into a makeup tutorial. This side of my nose to prepare for some nose contour, and I just take the rest and do like right here. I keep my contour high. I have a round face. It's like almost like a heart shape. The high cheekbones make my face look a little bit rounder. So sometimes in order to look a little more snatched, I keep my contour up high. Elf liquid blush in Comin In Hot Pink. Absolutely love the formula. I recently washed my brushes so they feel really good because my makeup was starting to look gray. When I want a dewy look that's a little bit more natural, more sun-kissed, I stick with cream products, let them do most of the work. The one thing I've learned when keeping my blush up here rather than bringing it down here is it still gives me that snatched look where you have the blush, you can see the blush, but bringing it down here doesn't look as clean, but it gives you more of like a doll look. Unless that's what you're going for, I wouldn't bring your blush too down. Like when you're blending, you better be feeling that bone, you know what I mean? Especially if you have cheeks, okay? If you have cheeks like me, don't bring your blush down here, ever. I'm going for a snatched, clean girl look. We're gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way translucent powder. Taking my pressed powder in my little sponge, some of that. And then I'm also dipping into the translucent powder. I put it on the back of my arm, pat it down so that it blends in together. And then I go in and I tap. I'm not gonna bake. And I blend out my concealer. Any creasing that I see, I blend that out before I put any powder on. I always forget to set my eyelids. Now, the one problem I have with this setting powder, it's not the best for my smile lines, so I try and avoid putting it there, and I just stick with my translucent powder in my smile lines because I think it's because the powder is a lot finer, and I think that's why it works a little better. A little bit of a translucent powder. I'm gonna tap majority of it off, and I just put the rest all over. Especially underneath here, I focus there so that I can get a little bit of a snatched contour. I really like mixing my setting powder with this translucent powder. Taking my Fenty Beauty bronzer in Mocha Mami. Absolutely love this shade. I've literally found all the products that work and I just don't try anything new. It's a good thing and a bad thing because like I should be trying out all the other products because I'm probably gonna find something really good. But every time like I try something new and I find what works, I stick with it until it don't work no more. And then I'll do like a little connection line down here, give a little bit more chisel. I think a really cute chin. And I've always gotten the compliment that I have a really cute nose. I mean, I do agree, but my nose hasn't been something that I hate, nor something that I overly love. I'm just like, oh, okay, it's my nose. It's cute, whatever. And for my nose contour, I take this little tiny fluffy brush, bring it into my eyebrow. No matter what kind of nose you have, you can feel this connection bone right here. And I always like to make sure that's where I emphasize more than anything. Just the tip. I'm gonna put some on my eyelids as well. Bring it all together. Oh my god, we need to bring back wearing cut creases to work. And then I'm gonna go back with this translucent powder and we're just gonna do a little snatcheroonie by my nose. Leave that and then add a little on my bridge. Look at this shade, y'all. I never thought I would ever wear a blush like this because I've always been a girl who's done more of like a purple plum kind of mauve color. I'm actually really into this coral vibe. We go together. We go together. A little on my forehead. The rest of my face, literally. I don't know. Doing that does something. It looks good. I don't know. This is where I'm going to do a layer of my setting spray. While that's drying, I'm going to clean up my space because I know once I finish, I'm not going to want to have to put all of this stuff away. So best pro tip ever, like while you're waiting for something to dry, put something away. I always do mascara after I put my setting spray on because I've had moments where I put my mascara on before and then I do the setting spray and it's just like raccoon eyes like all over. It looks really bad. I'm going to use the matchstick highlighter in Cinnamon, like the best everyday color. I'm going to set my lips. Always set my lips before I do lip liner. I'm only going to do a little bit. This isn't even a lip liner. This is literally a brown eyeliner. I'm just going to do a smidge bit, not too much. I have like a little dip in my lip on this side, so I do a little overlining on this side a little bit more than the other so that it matches, you know? This is my favorite everyday lipstick. It's like the perfect pink, mauve, whatever you want to call it. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Lip Color. Great for everyday use. Don't really need to put the liner on, but I like to put the liner because sometimes I'm just like, it blends in with my skin and it's not giving like, okay, lips and then face. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm adding Oh My Gloss Plump, also Rimmel, in the middle. And done. This is what I usually do every day, especially if I'm going to work. This is literally what I wear. I like to look good. I like to look clean and beat, hence the face. This is what we're doing for the hair. Yeah, all the products will be linked down below. And I'll see you babies next time. Besos.